Hi, you guys. Today we're going to look at our last text for the week. It's called At Home in the Wild. So if you have your textbook, grab that and flip over to At Home in the Wild. This is actually going to be some poetry. We haven't seen poetry in a while, so this will be fun. Remember that poetry is used in lots of ways. It's good for creating images. There's lots of describing words. The author typically uses lots of words that describe the sound. Expresses feelings really well. You'll see a lot of repetition of words or lines. Remember, repetition just means they might say the same line over and over again. The words, like I already said, they are very descriptive. They're words that describe, okay? And you might notice that there's a rhythm or a beat between the words, kind of like a song, which there's actually a song within this text. And remember, songs are kind of like poetry, right? So let's take a look at this. Whenever you are reading and you're thinking about the words the author's using, try to create some mental images. Remember, mental images help you remember what you read, okay? So as you're reading the words, make those pictures in your mind and think about, what does that remind you of? What does that sound like? What would that taste like or smell like? Okay? We've done this a lot, talked about this a lot. All right, let's move over here. Let's listen to our building background video.
People aren't the only living things that can build homes. Some animals build their own homes too. Prairie dogs dig underground burrows with tunnels that link together. Beavers use their teeth to knock down trees. Then they use the sticks and tree limbs to build lodges. Ants work together to dig networks of tunnels that are almost like underground cities. Animals have amazing ways to create a safe place to call home.
Okay, we're going to check out some animal homes. That's probably why it's titled At Home in the Wild. Okay, our first poem is titled Polar Bear Family. I'm going to let her read it to you.
Polar Bear Family by Eileen Spinelli. Polar Bear Mama moves with grace to find a sheltered winter place. She digs a snow cave wide and deep, where she and baby cubs can sleep. Come spring, the cubs set out for fun. They romp all day in the Arctic sun. They slip and slide, they race and roam. Then, weary, ride their mama home.
Okay, what do you guys think about that? What did you notice about the words? Did you notice that there were some rhyming words? We've got grace and place, deep and sleep, fun and sun, roam and home. And so that's where that rhythm comes into our poetry, okay? What about some describing words that you heard? Did you think about what it looked like when they slip and slide and they race and roam? That's kind of a fun mental image to create, isn't it? All right. And did the illustrator do a pretty good job of showing you what their their snow cave looks like? Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next one. This one's titled Big Brown Moose.
Big Brown Moose by Joyce Sidman. I'm a big brown moose. I'm a rascally moose. I'm a moose with a tough, shaggy hide. And I kick and I prance in a long-legged dance, with my moose mama close by my side. I shrug off the cold and I sneeze at the wind. And I swivel my ears in the snow. And I tramp and I tromp over forest and swamp, 'cause there's nowhere a moose cannot go. I'm a big brown moose. I'm a ravenous moose. As I hunt for the willow and yew, With a snort and a crunch, I rip off each bunch, and I chew, and I chew, and I chew. When together we slump in a comfortable clump, my mountainous mama and I give her a nuzzle of velvety muzzle. Our frosty breath drifts to the sky. I'm a big brown moose. I'm a slumberous moose. I'm a moose with a warm, snuggly hide, and I bask in the moon as the coyotes croon, with my moose mama close by my side.
Oh, okay, so that one's sweet. Oh, did y'all see that guy in the background? The fox. It's an extra detail. Okay, so let's look at this poem. It was a tad bit longer than our polar bear one. Remember the word stanzas? Stanzas are like paragraphs in poetry, right? So let's count our stanzas in this one. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 stanzas that make up this poem. Okay, let's look back at polar bears. This one only had 1, 2 stanzas. Do you see that? And each of these stanzas had 4 lines. Okay, so this was shorter. This one was a tad bit longer with its 5 stanzas. And then as far as line goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these had 6 lines per stanza. And when authors write poetry, they typically keep that same pattern of however many lines are in the first stanza are usually in all the stanzas. Now, it doesn't have to be, but typically they do. We heard some rhyming again, right? We heard some rhythm of the poem and some very descriptive words. Some repetition that we saw was, I'm a big brown moose. I'm a big brown moose. I'm a big brown moose over here, and it describes that he's rascally, ravenous, which means he's hungry, slumberous, which means he gets sleepy finally, and he lays down with his mama, right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, look at this one. This one's a tad bit different. What does this look like? Are you guys familiar with this? Have you seen this in music class? You know, music is not my forte, so don't even think I'm going to try to sing this, okay?
Over in the meadow. Over in the meadow, in the sand, in the sun, lived a sweet mother frog and her little froggy one. Croak, said the mother. I croak, said the one. So they croaked and they croaked in the sand, in the sun. Over in the meadow, in the stream so blue, lived a shiny mother fish and her little fishies too. Swim, said the mother. We swim, said the two. So they swam and they swam in the stream so blue.
Do y'all see the fish? And did you notice right here that it said her little fishies too, and it's spelled like the number 2? So we only had 1 froggy over here. We've got 2 baby fish over here. What do you think's going to come next? Do you see the birds? Let's hear.
Over in the meadow on a branch of the tree lived a wise mother bird and her little birdies 3. Sing, said the mother. We sing, said the 3. So they sang and they sang on a branch of the tree.
Yeah, so the illustrator did a great job with creating these mental pictures for us, right? Showing us where the author's even describing that on the branch in the stream so blue. Right. Got another one. Let me make this 1 page, you guys.
Over in the meadow, at a den near the shore, lived a mighty mother wolf and her little cubs 4. Howl, said the mother. We howl, said the 4. So they howled and they howled at their den near the shore. Over in the meadow, in a busy beehive, lived a fuzzy mother bee and her little bees 5. Buzz, said the mother. We buzz, said the 5. So they buzzed and they buzzed in a busy beehive.
Okay, so that was fun. So remember, this is a song, and in songs you have verses. So we wouldn't call these stanzas, but how many verses did this song have? Here's the first one about the frog. Then we had the one about the fish, the one about the birds. So that's 3 verses. 4 with the wolf and 5 with the bees. And what is the author describing here? Does this tell us what the animals look like? Or what they sound like? Does it tell us what they smell like? Like what sense? Which of our 5 senses are we using based on this description? Okay? You'll see this on your quiz, so think about that. What's a howl? What's a buzz? Okay? All right, let's look at our next one. This one's short and sweet.
The Cricket by Alberto Blanco. The night contains his wit, his music, and his silence. For each star is a cricket in the grass of the sky.
Okay, that's it. Did you hear any rhyming in that one? Nope. So remember, poetry doesn't always have to rhyme. Okay? Let's think about this. The night contains his wit. What does it mean to be witty? If you say something clever, something smart, you're using your wit, right? Okay, so let's talk about this, you guys. It says his music and his silence. Which one of these make music? The cricket or the stars? The cricket, right? And when do we typically hear crickets? At night, right? When do we see the stars? At night. And so the author is just trying to show this relationship between the cricket and the stars. They both come out at night. One is silent, one is loud, right? He chirps all night long. And so he's just saying that the stars in the sky are kind of like the crickets in the grass. They have similarities and also differences. Okay? And this is our last one. Let's check it out.
The Ant by Alma Flor Ada and F. Isabel Campoy. Here comes the ant out of its hole, grabs a grain of wheat and returns like a mole. Another ant comes out of its hole, grabs a grain of wheat and returns like a mole. Another ant comes out of its hole.
And that's where it ends, you guys. That's where it ends. So what do you think the next line could be? Did this basically repeat right here? The only thing that was different is that it says another ant. Another ant comes out of its hole. So what do you think it's going to say next? Do you think that you could add on grabs a grain of wheat and returns like a mole? Yeah. So they just kind of left you hanging. But because of this repetition, you're supposed to know that this could go on and on and on. See the wheat up here in the illustration? Yeah, so what did you guys think? Did you like those poems? Some people really enjoy poetry and some people struggle with it. I enjoy the ones that rhyme and have that really noticeable rhythm to it. So it's just kind of whatever you prefer. All right. So you guys, now is the time that you can go and in your packet, you'll find your little quiz here. And there are 5 questions. And I believe that there is a question that goes with each of your poems. Okay, so this one's going to be about your polar bear family. So you might need to go back and reread that one. This one's going to be about Big Brown Moose. So you might need to go back and reread it so that you can answer this correctly. Okay, remember, you can always go back in the text. Going back in the text will help you find the right answer. Okay. This one right here, what does the poem The Cricket tell about crickets? That one was kind of hard. That poem was it's very short and there's not a lot of meat to it. So just use your common sense. What do you guys know about crickets? Are crickets funny? Do they make noise? Do they look like stars? Do they live in the sky? Okay, so don't overthink that one too much. What do you already know about crickets that you can choose your answer from, okay? And then this one's from the ant. So, let me know if you need help, okay? I'm here to help you, and I will talk to you guys soon.